Tips for Successful Job Interview Preparation by TCE, the Training Consultancy Experts. One of the biggest challenges our clients face is the interview process. I can't tell you how many people contact us at Training Consultancy Experts for interview coaching. So, the team and I decided to put together a series of short videos to help job seekers through the job interview portion of the hiring process. Let's start with some common misconceptions. The first misconception is that if the CV or resume is good enough, then you're going to be hired. In reality, this isn't true. No matter how impressive the CV or resume, that only gets you the opportunity to interview for the job. So, if you got the call or the email asking for an interview, that is as far as a great resume or CV can take you. In reality, the impression you make on the interviewer determines the outcome of the interview. Your poise, attitude, social skills, business etiquette, and communication skills are often more important than your actual experience and education. The second misconception is that job interview success is a result of some networking on your part. The fact that you know someone who knows someone can give you the added advantage of knowing that there's an opening at an organization or learning information about the corporate culture or what they're looking for in an employee. But that won't amount to interview success. In reality, the job interview is a process where you and the interviewer must engage in a conversation, a mutual exchange of information and ideas. That dialogue will then determine if the organization and the job and you are well matched. What is key to your success is your preparation. First, plan to be on time. For an interview, this means that you need to be ready and waiting 15 minutes before the time appointed to you. This means you need to know the physical location of the interview. You need to be able to plan a route there and check how long it's going to take you to arrive at the appointment on the given day and time via your mode of transportation. So you arrive on time, which is really 15 minutes before the time that they assigned to you. If your interview is going to be done using various communication platforms online, make sure your device and connection are working well in advance of the interview. Secure a quiet and calm location and arrive 15 minutes early. The host of the meeting or interviewer can see that you're waiting for admittance into the meeting, so just sit tight and wait for them to let you in. Next, and this is very important, know the interviewer's name, how they pronounce it, and how they spell it. Think about this for a minute. If somebody's meeting you for the first time and they can't say your name, or they're writing you a formal email and they can't spell your name, how would that make you feel? You don't want to ostracize the interviewer by missing out on this important detail. If you don't know the name of the person who's interviewing you, simply call the reception desk and ask. And people, make sure you know the name of the people working at the reception desk too. They're just as important as the person interviewing you. Next, it's time to research, research, research. Learn about what the company does, their unique selling point, their mission, vision, and any interesting new projects they may be working on. During your research, you should prepare a short list of questions and thoughts to use during the interview. This shows you've done your research, want to know more about the organization and the position, and it illustrates you're really interested and invested in the hiring process at the company. Tip number four, and I can't stress this one enough, prepare to have hard copies of your documents at the interview. Sure, you sent them a CV, resume, cover letter when you applied, but you still need to print out at least two hard copies of each, along with copies of your degrees, certifications, official IDs, possibly your transcript, and any other document that you believe is going to support you in getting the job. So, for example, if you're applying for a position at the graphic design department, you might want to make a few copies of projects that you've done and take them with you. Place all of these documents in a simple professional file or folder and take them with you to the interview. You would be surprised how many times candidates are asked for these documents at the onset of the interview. So be prepared. Tip number five, be ready to write. Have a tiny little notepad and a working pen with you. You're not going to be taking notes, not at all. However, you need to have them with you so that when you leave the interview, you can write down as much as you can remember, including your own impression of how well you did. You're going to use this to evaluate and reflect on what you can do better next time. You could also use the pen and paper in the interview if they give you any key information that needs to be taken down for future reference, but that's about it. Tip number six, select your clothing ahead of time. You want to dress like the professional you dream of becoming. So don't leave this until the day of the interview. You want to make sure that you have selected your clothing, made sure they're clean, pressed, and ready to go way ahead of the date of the interview. It doesn't mean you have to wear black and white clothing, but it does mean that you're going to be leaning towards classical cuts, colors, and patterns. Things that are conservative or clothing that specifically fits the environment of the corporate culture that you're aspiring to join. Your clothing has to be professional, but it also has to be comfortable enough for you to wear throughout the interview. So that's also important as you make your selection. If there's anything that needs to be done, a few stitches or a loose button, you need to make sure that you do that well in time for the interview. Tip number 7, be prepared for those interview questions. Anticipate the questions you think your interviewer is going to ask way in advance and consider how you're going to handle these questions without losing your composure. Questions like, tell us about a time that you made a mistake at work and how you handled it, or why do you think you would be a good fit for this role? When it comes to asking about salary or benefits, don't wait for the interviewer to mention these to you. Now, if this is really important to you, you should go online and research what a position like this in an organization like the organization you've applied to typically pays. You can refer to salary surveys, information on various career or recruitment service websites. Sometimes, if you go back to the job description or hiring notice, you'll find that they are mentioned there. If they're not, you don't want to ask that during the interview. And finally, don't expect to get a job offer at that first interview. Hold on, it doesn't mean I don't think you're going to get the job. It just means that the hiring process is a long one and it involves several interviews. So you may be invited back a second or third time before an offer is actually made, and that could even be several weeks later. So don't get your expectations up for that very first interview. In conclusion, it's really important that you have good preparation because it's going to help keep you calm. So prepare well. Don't let your nerves get the best of you. And for more helpful hints and tips, follow our social media accounts and check out our webpage regularly. Remember, this is just one of a series of videos to help you with the job interview and hiring process. But if you're interested in more personalized career coaching or CV and resume creation or any other customized solution to help you in securing a job, please feel free to contact the TCE team either by sending an email, messaging us through one of the social media platforms, or just give us a good old fashioned phone call. We're waiting to hear from you. So, best of luck as you prepare for your interview. Check out our social media for our other TCE content to help you get ahead in your career. And give us a call or send us an email. Our team is ready and waiting to help you out. It's a trilingual team, so whether you need help in English, French, or Arabic, don't forget it's our business to find the right business fit for you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video.